ॐ सहना भवतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यङ्करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै ॐ शान्तिः 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 Section 16 and subsection 18, 16, 18, and we have done verses 1 to 4, which talk about a certain series of contradictions. And what are those contradictions? It's all about the question of worship. So it questions two things. In worship, there has to be two things in the concept of worship. What are there in worship? One, worshipper, aham, I, as the worshipper. Then the second thing that is there is the object that is to be worshipped. So, when you gather all the samagris, means all the dravyas, well, that didn't help. Okay, samagris means dravyas, dravyas means samagris, ingredients for worship. Like lamp and fan, and fly, this buffalo tail whisk, and all these things you gather. And bell, all these things, flowers, akshata, etc. All these things you gather for the worship. So this is those are all the instruments of worship. So you have the instruments of worship, you have the worshipper, and then you have the object of worship. Now, even if it is, in India, even if it's like welcoming somebody of high stature, let's say you have invited some big wig, some VIP to come and inaugurate something. Somebody who is well known, well read, well published, some big person in the society. So you have read their resume, and then in India, the same kinds of things of worship are used. The person is garlanded, then one arati is done at the entrance when they are invited, and then they are ceremonially taken on a carpet, made to walk on a carpet and taken to the podium where they are supposed to give a speech. And before that, somebody introduces them, and then they are offered water, etc., etc. So you do that for whom? For somebody that you know and knowingly have invited. That is the idea. You don't do it to some roadside riffraff. Somebody going on the road, you just don't catch a hold of them and garland them and then invite them and do all these things. Because you don't know who they are. So, this is the premise for the verses 1 to 4. That when you worship, what is worship? Worship cannot be done. It's just impossible to worship that which you don't know. But yet we do that every day. We gather all the samagris and dravyas and start a worship of things, this Bhagavan who we do not know at all. Where is Bhagavan? Don't know. Who is this Bhagavan? Don't know. Is Bhagavan male or female? Don't know. That's why better to worship in both forms. But then what about animals? Better to have some mascots like Moshaka, this little mouse sitting there, etc., etc. This is the worship, so-called worship. This is what we do. And so, how is this going to help? Because you don't know. And you are just, worship is more like an insurance. Just when you buy insurance, you say, okay, I want to be protected from earthquake. I want it to be protected from fire. I want it to be protected from water damage. I want to be protected from. So it's like, just throw everything. Oh, just what is that? 5 minutes, five more dollars you can add in this, 100 more dollars you can add in this. And the homeowner says, yes, yes, why not? You never know. And soon they will even have any kind of attack from aliens. Okay, sure, somebody's making a lot of money, but then you throw it in every direction. Just like this, you try to cover you try to cover a big ground so that you can be protected from what God only knows, from all kinds of calamities. So similarly, this worship is also like going and buying insurance. So in the prayers, there's all these things. You don't know who it is. So for all obstacles, every house will have Ganesha. Then, of course, house doesn't run without Lakshmi ji, money. And so therefore, the goddess will always be there. Very popular she is. Yeah, yeah. Extremely popular. Extremely well loved. And then you need you need little bit of knowledge also, especially if you have school going, college going children, because it's too late for you now. So now you think of the children. Okay, let them be blessed. So you have Saraswati, and of course, Krishna is an all time favorite, and you better be on his right side. You better be on the right side because he's a trickster and he can do some funny things. And so, therefore, and of course, he's so cute. How can you not have him in your life? So, there is Krishna also. And then what else? There's so many other things. Kula Devata. Kula Devata means in our family we have worshipped this particular iteration of Bhagavan for the time immemorial. So there also there will be a depiction of that. Grama Devata. I have never been to this village, but it is said that my great 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 grandfather was from there, and so there is the Devi. These devatas are all female. Kula Devata, especially Grama Devatas. All of them are goddesses protecting the village. So, yes, bring her on too, bring her on board, more the merrier. Nothing wrong, but this is the culture. But from the standpoint of Vedanta, we have to ask this question: who are these deities that are being worshipped? And sometimes, if you go to an average Indian home, they will ask you to visit. At least, when the Swami goes, they will ask the Swami to visit the puja room. So then I go to the puja room, and then something will intrigue me. I'll say, "What is this? Which form of Bhagavan is this? Which Devi is this? Which Devata is this?" And they will shrug their shoulders. We have no clue. Somebody gave it to us, or we inherited from the elderly great aunt who passed away 2 years ago. Even she didn't know. And so, like this, you have all these things on the altar that you don't know. But like homeowners insurance, each one is dear and each one cannot be parted with, because you have invested in each one. How have you invested? Because you have fed them every day with all kinds of dry fruits and fruits and lamp and everything. It's exactly like homeowners insurance, because you are insuring yourself against any kind of calamity. But here, you don't know what is the object of worship. You do not know that. And so, how can, and the author really nicely cuts through everything and says, how can you call something worship when the object of worship is not known? That is the first two lines, the first two verses here. So, the first verses 2 and 3 talk about that, and then how dare you call something worship when it is not when there is nothing to when you don't know what you're worshipping. Like, you don't invite a stranger to your house. You don't invite a stranger. You don't uh, invite the stranger as a cherished guest. And so Bhagavan is also invited as a cherished guest. How can you do that when you don't know be for Bhagavan? You don't know what it means. So this is one side of the paksha, one side, one paksha of the paradox. And what is the other side? Let's say the person says, yeah, okay, 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 I am going to know Bhagavan. Tell me what I have to do, where I have to go. So if somebody says that, they cannot be sent to Vaikuntha, because you cannot do that. And so, where is Bhagavan? Bhagavan has no location. You have to study the Upanishad. You have to find a teacher, go to the Guru, sit and study. And then what else? And then you know Bhagavan. Study the Taittiriya Upanishad. Oh, is it too late? No, no, no. It's meeting in the morning. So study the Upanishad, and the Upanishad will reveal that you worship is that you have been worshipping is yourself alone, is non-separate from yourself. This is what the Upanishad, all the Upanishad, not just Taittiriya Upanishad. Every Upanishad reveals this fact. And what does it say? It says that this Satyam Jnanam Anantam, this consciousness which is you, when you remove all the removable parts, meaning movable parts and removable parts, both of them you remove from the equation of this thing called I. This from this I you remove everything that's removable and you remove everything that is movable, changeable. So body not I, and then what else? Mind not I, senses not I, and then everything not I, 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 and then everything not I, not I, and then after that what? And then what is I? The I that is just there, I am. That awareness, that consciousness. I know I am. Satchit. Even if Ananda is too much, at least say Satchit. Enough. So I know I am. This I alone is there, nothing else. This I is awareness, consciousness. So this is called, this is called jivatva apanayanam. The removal, the quote unquote removal or the negation of nirasanam, the negation of this thing called jivatvam, the jivahood, jivaness. Jivaness is made up of this I am plus this I am understanding plus all the accoutrements to which the I am has got completely enmeshed, to which it has clung. This is what is removed. Cognitively, of course. Then you go on the side of Ishvara. What is Ishvara? Oh, Ishvara. As soon as you say Ishvara, the hands go here and you go like this in front of the temple and you hit yourself a little bit. I mean, nobody slaps themselves. It's just a symbolic thing. You just go like this, saying, I don't know what all I have done. I'm doing some atonement here. I'm punishing myself. Actually, you're just patting your cheeks, but nonetheless, it's a symbolic of punishing yourself for all the things, all the omissions and commissions. Oh, you creator, I am just the creator of confusion. Oh, you sustainer, I am just the sustainer of delusion. Oh, you resolver of the whole Jagat. I can't even resolve one small self ignorance. This is me, this is you, and you are so big, and I am so small. You are all, I am nothing at all. And this is the so called relationship. But you unpack Ishvaratvam. If Jivatvam is Mithya, Ishvaratvam is also equally Mithya. Unpack that Ishvaratvam. What do you get? You take away the status creator of the universe. Why? Because the universe is movable and removable. But anything that is movable is removable. This is the this is the maxim of today. So it is movable, it is changing all the time. Therefore, hence it is also removable. Okay, take it out. Take out the Jagat. Oh, if Jagat is not there, where is Ishvara? What is Ishvara? So, because the whole Jagat means there is Ishvara has a job, creator, sustainer, resolver, destroyer, whatever it is. And so, if you take away the whole Jagat, where is the Aishwarya? Where is the overlordship? Where is all this? Where is this big presence? The presence is there, but it has no name and form. That is again Chaitanya Swarupa. That is again in the form of consciousness, that which exists, presence, and that which is sentient, jnanam, and then that which is endless, limitless, anantam. That's all that is there. When you resolve the jiva side also, that's all that is there. And then when you resolve the Ishvara side also, that's all that is there. And then what happens? And then you sit down for puja. That's what happens. After gaining this knowledge, you sit down for puja, and then it's a head scratching moment. Who is the worshipper? Who is the worshipper? Me. Who is this I? Just now you heard, okay, I am consciousness. All right. Who is the worshipped? That is also consciousness. So then what is the reason for this worship? Are you worshipping yourself? Or are you, so when you know, you cannot worship. When you don't know, also you cannot worship. When you know, you need not worship. When you don't know, you cannot worship. Here is the quandary where we had stopped at. And this is something, looks like the author is channeling the, what is that called? Kenopanishad. In the Kenopanishad, we also have a similar deployment of paradoxes. यद्वाचा अनभ्युदितं येन वाग् अभ्युद्यते तदेव ब्रह्मत्वं विद्धि नेदं यदिदम् उपासते. And like this, there are a series of paradoxical negations. That which is illumined, that which the speech cannot, yad vaja anabhyuditam, that which cannot be illumined by speech, but that which the speech itself, that by which the speech itself is illumined. Think about that. Very nice. Very, this is contemplating on these things, staves of cognitive decline. Really. You don't need to play Sudoku and all. You just study Sanskrit and then and study the Upanishad and all these paradoxes. The paradoxes keep the mind going, keep the brain cells well oiled. That which the speech cannot illumine. The speech is useless in illumining. Speech goes and touches it and wants to talk about it, but it has no words. That which makes speech itself speechless. That is what it is. Speech comes with a big speech. Okay. Vak comes with a big speech. It has prepared for the occasion to talk about Brahman. Today, I'm going to talk about Brahman, how to pin it down, how to recognize it, and what are the main colors it comes from, what is its species, jati, what is its kriya, what does it do, daily habit, and where does it live, where is its habitat, and then what else, and then and how does it relate to other things in the universe, sambandha, kriya, and then what colors does it come in, guna, all these things. And so I'm going to talk about all that. What does it say? Vak says. Vak stands at the podium, clears its throat, and prepares a speech, has prepared the speech. But then, when the microphone is on, everybody is waiting with bated breath. Vak cannot say anything because it knows too much and it is unable to categorize Brahman into a jati. Jati means a particular noun. So what is the, so noun means hat, coat, tree, like this there should be many things. And within the tree, tall tree, the thick tree, leafless tree, bushy tree, deciduous tree, evergreen tree, so many various sub-jatis are there. Here what is there? Nothing. Brahman is not part of a species. It is technically a noun, but it is not like other nouns. Then Kriya, what does it do? Daily routine. Is it some kind of an exotic zoo animal or what? Now they have all these, in the zoo, they have all these, what is that? Cams. Cam means short for camera. Polar bear cam. So this is when you are really stressed, and in between meetings you want to de-stress. Two terrible meetings are there, and the first one hasn't gone well, and there is no reason why the second one will also go well. So you plug into this polar bear cam. And the polar bear is not interesting by itself. It doesn't do much. But then in the sanctuary or zoo, but it has recently had twin babies. Aha, now there is something to see. So then you turn on the polar bear cam, and then you look at this. And you look at the polar bear and you feel relaxed, and you say, okay, I can handle this next meeting. So you can do that. But there is no Brahman camp. What are its daily activities? What does it eat? Where does it go? Where is its habitat? There is no Brahma camp. No Brahma camp. Okay. And so that is also gone. It doesn't have any activity. So there is no possibility of a camp. There is no need of a camp. The whole idea of a camp is a big sham. So there is nothing there. And so then there is no activity, and it is not a noun. Even though technically it's a noun, it's not a noun. And here, if you say it doesn't act, that's one thing. But in its presence, everything acts. This is very, very crazy making. In its presence, that which makes everything act, but itself is actionless. How do I comprehend this? This is crazy making. But then this is exactly what it is. So is Brahman a noun? Let's see. Get back to me. I'll get back to you tomorrow. Tomorrow never comes. That's why you're saved. But really speaking, what are you going to do? Brahman, the word, is a noun. But it is not a noun like other nouns because it is not one among the many. It does not describe that which can be objectified, which is what all the other nouns do. All the other nouns describe that which can be objectified. And here, Brahman is a noun, but it is not a noun. Okay, does it have any activities? Uh, no, 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 not at all. No activity. Oh, okay, can I check that box? Well, it's in its presence, everything becomes alive. Just like the Raja, this is a Kathopanishad example, very beautiful. The Raja, what does the Raja do? Nothing. But in his presence, Raja means king. In the presence of the king, everything comes alive. Everything becomes, everybody starts to work. Everybody starts to work. All the Raja has to do is walk from his palace just a few steps to the place, to a big room where all the ministers are meeting. And then on the way he meets some sentries. They straighten up. They stand like that. Up till now they were nicely happily slouching, but suddenly they stand up. Oh, Raja here, Raja going. And the people who are sweeping the courtyard, the lady who is sweeping and the man who is cleaning, whatever it is, they all start to sweep faster and quicker and more cleaner. What is the Raja doing? Nothing. Is the Raja sweeping? No. Is the Raja guarding the gates? No. Is the Raja doing any work? No. Raja is simply strolling from one building to another in the palace courtyard, but in the presence of the Raja, how everything comes to be. All the work is done just by his mere presence. Similarly, भीषास्माद्वातः पवते भीषोदेति सूर्यः भीषास्मादग्निश्चेन्द्रश्च मृत्युर्धावति पञ्चम इति Bhishad Asmat. It's as though out of fear of this Brahman. That's why there is a big as though. There is nobody is afraid of Brahman, but as though out of respect or fear of Brahman. Vataha pavate. The wind blows, not according to how it wants. It's being sent by the manifest, laws of the universe, which are nothing but Bhagavan, Brahman. It is as it were being deployed to various places because that law of how the wind blows intersects with another important law. And what is that law? How your karma blows, how your karma goes. So the karmic order intersects with the physiological order of the universe. And that's why we have some terrible gusty winds where people have to stay at home for 3 days. And in certain areas, you have tornadoes. Some people perish, some people have to be taken to the hospital. All these things are there. It's not random. It is an intelligent universe, and that intelligence is Bhagavan. And then so you cannot say it is Brahman having any activity. No. But again, you cannot say that categorically, because in the presence of which all activities are done, itself is not active at all, doesn't do a single thing. Then what is jati, kriya, then guna. Guna means what are the visheshanas? What are the adjectival, accoutrements we can add on to Brahman? What can we add on? There are all these add-ons you can put on your computer. There are so many add-ons. But here on your Google, whatever, Firefox and all these things, there are add-ons. But here, what can you add on? What is there to, what is there? What kind of adjective is there? Brahman is beautiful. You cannot say that. Brahman is more beautiful than something else, because these are all comparative. And it doesn't have any attributes. So, how can you describe or eulogize the attribute of that which is attributeless? It's an attributeless thing. It's totally without attributes. And then you cannot therefore say these are the gunas. You cannot even say Brahman is a little tamasic today, because that which is free of all gunas, that is Brahman. Oh, so can I write it down? That Brahman has nothing to do with guna? No, 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 not so fast. Why? Because dot dot dot. Brahman doesn't have anything to do with gunas, but all gunas come alive in the presence of which? That which sustains all the gunas itself is free of all the gunas. So again, speech is stammering now, cannot say anything. Jati, Kriya, Guna, and then finally Sambandha. Everything in the world has to have these four things if it is an object. These four qualities, conditions, aspects, whatever you want to call them. Jati, Kriya, Jati, Guna, Kriya, Sambandha. Sambandha means how does it relate to other things? First of all, how many things are there? Only Brahman. But what about the Jagat? What is the Jagat? Brahman. Okay, anything I ask, the answer is Brahman. Okay, what is the Jagat? Brahman. What are the people? The Jivas? Brahman. And what are the plants and everything? Brahman. What are the places? Brahman. And then so, and how many Brahmans are there? Just one. Non-dually one. Singular. No, but in the grammar we have Brahma, Brahmani, Brahmani. We have this, we have dual and plural, etc. That is because the grammar was crafted for sustaining one's ignorance, perhaps. The grammar reproduces the ignorance, also reproduces the vision of Vedanta sometimes. So don't go by the grammar, go by the Shastra. How many Brahmans are there? Ekameva Advitiyam Brahma. One Brahman, non-dually, one singular Brahman alone is there. Okay, so what about Sambandha? You can't ask the question, how does Brahman relate to the Jagat? The short answer is it does not relate to the Jagat. There is no relationship whatsoever. And the example, the stock example that is given is the relationship of Brahman to the Jagat is just like the relationship of you with your shadow. You cast the shadow, but then after casting the shadow, there is no relationship, really speaking, because shadow is mithya, you are satyam. Similarly, Jagan mithya, Brahma satyam. Brahma satyam, Jagan mithya. And so therefore there is nothing to there is nothing to connect to, because there is no order of reality which occupies the same place as Brahman. No order of reality, nothing at all. And so Brahman is by itself, and it is not, doesn't have anything to do with anybody else or anything else. And so therefore the final sambandha, that also is gone. So this Brahman which cannot be objectified. So the speech had prepared a speech which it had to tear up, excuse itself, and shimmy away from the podium, slowly kind of back off like that from the podium in embarrassment. Yadvacha anabhyuditam, that which cannot be lighted up by speech, that which cannot be objectified by speech. So here there is a small caveat. Don't tell me now, okay? Don't ask me. If it cannot be lighted up by speech, then why do you keep on talking class after class after class? Why are you talking? Well, in my own defense and the defense of all the Vedanta teachers, I have to say one thing. I am not talking, I am not objectifying Brahman through speech. It is impossible. So why do you continue to talk? Because aren't you lighting up Brahman? Yes, I'm lighting up Brahman as you, not as an object, as the subject. There's a very big difference. And that has to be assimilated. So that's why now that that has been dismissed, I can continue to talk. Okay. So yad vacha anabhyuditam. Here the speech has beaten a retreat and it doesn't have any place, leg to stand on. And poor thing, it has slunk away. But then there is that because of which the speech is revealed. What is that consciousness? What is that sentience which makes you understand what I say? What is that because of which speech comes to light? I say tiger, and immediately the tiger arises in the mind. Along with the poem of the tiger, 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 burning bright. There is a poem. You think of the tiger, you may well think of the poem. Pot. Immediately the pot has lit up. In fact, your mind and that which, your mind, that which is blessed by consciousness, that mind has brought the pot to light, has brought the thought to light, has brought everything to light. All the words shine in comprehension, but itself which is incomprehensible by speech. Tadeva brahmatvam vidhi. Know that to be Brahman. Na idam yadidam upasate, not that which people put on the altar and worship. This is something which is a very important lesson, and that which is not very easy to assimilate. Even though we convince ourselves, soham bhavena pujayami, I am worshipping from the bhava, from the idea that I am none other than you. But in the very act of worship, otherness is there. If there is no otherness, there cannot be worship. Worship, worship begs the concept of otherness. And if it is other, that means you don't know. And until you know, you cannot worship. Okay, now that I have taken this class and I know what Bhagavan is, now I'm going to sit down with all the puja materials and I'm going to worship. Now, who is the worshipper? Me. Who is the worshipped? Consciousness. Me. Oh, okay. Are you listening to yourself? Are you understanding that the impossibility of worship, just as the Shastra describes the worship, that is just impossible to do. Impossible. It's not a physical possibility. Oh, but we see the Kanchi Acharya worshipping. We see the Sringeri Shankaracharya worshipping. They're not doing it for themselves, okay? They are all Vedantins. They are doing it for everybody else out of compassion. Because everybody else is not there. And they do talk Vedanta, but very little bit. Because they want, they want people to come. They want people to, the mathas to have some significance. Because if you start talking only Vedanta, then, there will be what should I say? There will be an exodus of the people. But because they are worshipping, because they are following the first portion of the Veda, because they are doing the Arati, etc., all those things become very meaningful. Because the senior acharyas are doing it and the pontiff is doing it. And then so one feels blessed looking at such a worship and all this, because that is where one is. But for a Vedantin, there is the impossibility of worshipping something that is non-separate from you, something that doesn't have name, form, because worship is all dependency. That the first impossibility is because you cannot, it is you yourself. Second impossibility of worship happens because it cannot be objectified. It is not an object. And worship means that it is all connected with form. So worship is a form. Okay, you're going to ring the bell. Where? And to whom? And then you're going to wave the lamp. You can wave it around a devata, around a picture. But then here we are talking of that which is all pervasive. Where are you going to take your camphor lamp? And is there enough camphor to show that, to reveal that Bhagavan which is all pervasive? So that camphor should last as far as the galaxies. First, you should be able to go to all the galaxies. Every galaxy is Bhagavan. Every exoplanet is Bhagavan. Everything, even the distance between one planet and one galaxy and another galaxy, those light years, those are also Bhagavan. Everything is Bhagavan. So where are you going to show the lamp? You cannot show the lamp. Unto whom, unto which pair of ears are you going to utter the Sahasranama, the 1008 names? Not possible. So the impossibility of worship is firstly because you know that this the object of worship has now become the subject, which is yourself. And the second reason it's impossible is because even if you take it from the standpoint of Jagat Karta, from the standpoint of that which is manifest as the Jagat, that which is the cause of the Jagat, it is not objectifiable. It is not objectifiable. Of course, that's why we have the whole worship where we sneak in, the definition of upasana. And what is the definition of upasana? Nikrishta vastuni, utkrishta vastu, adhyasya pujayet, dhyayet. On something that is lowly, meaning that which has form. On top of that, you project the formless on that which has form, because everything that has form is not away from Brahman, which is formless anyway. And that's how you kind of squeak in the worship, you get away with the worship. But really speaking, it is impossible. And this is what is pointed out from verses 1 to 4. Pujya pujakata. So there is no pujya. Pujya means object of worship. Pujakata means the status of worshipper is not there. So who is there? Murkha ajnana sutaki. Sutaka means some kind of a pollution. Like in Hindi we say sutak. Pollution means what? Like somebody dies in your close family, and somebody passes away, and then you for 11 12 days you don't go to temple, you don't visit other people. And when other people come and visit you to condole the death of a loved one, they go home and take a shower. They wash from the head to toe. They have to wash. It's not that you are isolated. People sit with you night and day for 12 days. They sit with you. They are allowed to be with you. But when they go home, they have to have a ritual cleansing. You cannot go to places of worship. And you cannot go to, like if somebody is having a puja in their house, even in fact, you can't go to anybody's houses. So that period is called Sutaka. Then on the 13th day, you take a ritual shower and everything, and you do a homa. And you say, okay, I have finished the first period of the intense period of mourning. In fact, the mourning is not over, it continues for a whole year. But we have finished the first intense stage of the morning, and now I'm going to be, because one cannot stay away from work and all the commitments. So now I'm free. I have discarded the Sutaka period. I have completed the Sutaka period, and I have cleansed myself because of this ritualized shower, and then I am able to go about doing my things in the day, in the course of the day, from now on. This is called Shubha Swikaranam. So I'm accepting now the auspicious, and then I am discarding the inauspicious. So Sutaka means a period of inauspiciousness. So what is left here? Murkha. The murkha doesn't mean fool. The deluded one. The deluded one contaminated by ajnanam. Ajnana sutaki. So ajnanam is the sutaka. Ajnanam is the pollutant. Ajnanam is the pollutant. The death of Viveka and Vairagya here. That is the pollutant. That is what the person perhaps is mourning. And the mourning the death of Viveka, Vairagya, etc., because of which one has not come, because of whose demise one has not come to knowledge. And then so therefore one is left, with the pollutant of Ajnanam. That is what it is. And then fifth verse, very nice. न जाने क्व पलायन्ते धूपदीपाक्षतादयः न जाने क्व पलायन्ते धूपदीपाक्षतादयः अस्माकं देवपूजायां देव एवाविशिष्यते अस्माकं देवपूजायां देवदेवाविशिष्यते. So, very nice. So then, when you understand this, what happens? Na jane. He says, I do not know. Na janami, na jane. I do not know. What do you do not know? What do you not know? Kwa palayante. Where they have run away. You know, where they have run away. And then, kwa palayante, where they run away. What? Dhupa, incense. Deepa, the lamp that you could not any longer wave after knowing what Bhagavan is. And then Akshata. Akshata means the yellow rice, etc., that you have in the puja plate. Adayaha, Adi Padarth, the bell and everything, Chandanam and water and all these things, flowers. Naivedya. It's almost like if you depict it in a cartoon, and the author here, Narahari, has a nice sense of humor. You can imagine that in the moment of this understanding, when the understanding dawns, when the person sitting for puja, then the puja plate grows a pair of small legs, and the bell grows a pair of legs, and the Naivedya grows a pair of legs, and they all run away right in front of you. All the materials gone. Why do they run away? In the wake of this knowledge, they disappear. That is the idea. Najane kvapalayante. God only knows where they have run away. So then what is left in Asmakam Deva Pujayam? In this new-found Deva Puja, in this new-found definition of puja. And so what is this puja? The puja is being Bhagavan, understanding one is Bhagavan. What is there? Only Bhagavan is left. There is no worshipper. So second case is, the second case is gone because Bhagavan as an object of worship gone. And then worshipper, I am doing the puja karta, gone. And instruments of worship, I told you, they grew legs and ran away. That is also gone. So what is left? All that is left is Bhagavan alone. Only God. That is, brings me back to Pujya Swamiji's wonderful, very famous statement. We do not say there is one God. We do not say there are many gods. We say there is only God. Whatever you see is Bhagavan. Wherever you are is Bhagavan. Every location is Bhagavan. Everything that you can objectify, Bhagavan. Everything is Bhagavan, but Bhagavan is not any one thing in particular. This has to be understood. Asmakam Deva Pujayam, in this newfound Deva Puja definition, the Deva Eva, Devaha Eva, Avishishyate. Only, only Bhagavan is remaining. Nothing else is there. There is no I. There is no puja dravyas which I have purchased. There is no God as an object. Only Bhagavan, as we know, is there. Then the next one. Devanusandhanadhiya vismrite pujanakrame पूजायां जायते विघ्नः पूर्णपूजाफलं हि तत् देवानुसन्धानधिया विस्मृते पूजनक्रमे पूजायां जायते विघ्नः पूर्णपूजाफलं हि तत् देव अनुसन्धानधिया, by the intellect, by the intention. Deva Anusandhana. Deve Anusandhanam. So unification, the oneness, the thirst to discover the oneness with Bhagavan, Deva Anusandhana Dhiya, with that kind of a thinking, with that kind of a mindset. Then what happens? The person is sitting to do puja, but from the mindset of this oneness, what happens? You forget your lines, and then you don't know what comes next. Om Karacharana Kritam Va Kayajam. What else? Oh, I don't know what else comes. Because one has even in saying the mantra, the person saying the mantra has become one with the object to which that mantra is addressed. Because that is the truth. And so the puja has become a avenue for understanding, recognizing, and for having a samadhi right there, right then and there, having the cessation of all kind of duality between the person who is the worshipper and the object of worship. That is obliterated. The difference is obliterated, and the thirst and the longing to understand and be one with Bhagavan is granted in a moment of rare grace, because one has seriously and sincerely pursued this knowledge. That is why that moment of grace happened, and the worshipper worshipped, become one, become quote unquote one. Become means they were already one, but here that understanding is there, and that understanding is experiential in nature. That understanding is experientially manifest in this moment. Then what? You forgot what to do next. You were supposed to give achamanam, meaning you were supposed to give sips of water, but instead you went away straight to arati. Why? Because you forgot Naivedya, you forgot Achamanam, you forgot Deepa, Dhupa, everything, and you went straight to Arati. Why? Because you were just in this enjoying this oneness. So you did not have in your head the puja krama or vidhi. You didn't have the vidhi, means like the steps involved in the puja. There is a 5-step puja, 11-step puja, 16-step puja, Shodashopchara puja, Upachara puja, all these things are there. Let's say you sit down to do the 16-step puja, and then steps 6 to 12 you forgot. You just forgot. Not because you were mindless or because there was something else you were distracted, but because that yearning for that oneness with Bhagavan culminated in that oneness right then and there, and you forgot. So, from the standpoint of the people around you, this puja will not have phala. This is a puja without phala. Why? Because it is, as we have seen in the Mundaka Upanishad, avidhina hutam, ahutam, avaishvadevam. Meaning, if the ritual is not done properly, so yasyagniHotram adarsham apaurnamasam ahutam avidhina hutam tasya asaptaman lokaha hinasti. So all the 7 worlds for them are destroyed. For that person, all the 7 worlds are destroyed. The one who does this slipshod puja without any idea of how to offer, when to offer. So here also, here it's not slipshod puja, it is not a mindless puja, it is a mindful puja, all right. But in the mindful puja, the mind itself resolved. So where is the one who is doing puja? Well, that person is Bhagavan, and that oneness, one was blessed with that experience of oneness. When the subject and the object united in this understanding, so to speak, one is already united, but this in the puja, this unification was highlighted and experientially understood. And then what happens? Experientially reiterated. And then what happened? It was manifest in an experiential form. Then all the people came and said, shame on you. You will not only not get punya out of this, you will get papa. Why? Because steps 5 to 12 you forgot. How could you do this? You omitted steps 5 to 12 in the 16-step puja. and you omitted, and then suddenly you came to and started from step 13 to 16 and you finished it off. What kind of a puja is this? And here we have been collecting all the materials and we have been doing all this. We will get the punya and you will not get any fruit out of this. In fact, you will get dosha. Akarane pratyavaya. So there is a kind of a papa you get by not doing what is supposed to be done. It is called pratyavaya dosha, and you will get pratyavaya papa. A papa called pratyavaya you will be blessed with or you will be cursed with. So this is what the elders would say. This is what the guardians and the bastions, the gatekeepers of the first portion of the Veda would tell. But so this is what. So pujayam jayate vigna. They would say this. That your puja is curtailed. It has got a obstacle. Now there is an obstacle in the puja, so that means what? You have to start from the beginning. You cannot continue. You cannot continue at all because in the mantra chanting stopped and then you stopped offering, you went and did something else. And step number 13, you are supposed to do, first of all, you skipped steps 5 to 12, and then instead of 13, you did 14 and then did 13. What kind of a puja is this? Obviously, it's a puja riddled with obstacles. The people would say, the masses would say, but according to the author, Purna Puja Phalam Hitat. So when they call out the obstacles, feel very happy, Narahari says, because your puja has culminated in a purnata. Your puja is whole. But what they are saying it is half. No, your puja is whole. Why? Because it has manifested the wholeness that is you. So Purna Phala is also a pun here. Purna Phala means coconut, okay, which is offered as the tambula at the very end. At the very end, the coconut is offered, tambula, etc. And so this is what is offered. And then when it is purna phala because it is just like the coconut is like a head, hard on the outside and then soft on the inside. So it's like offering your head, offering your ego, and then that is one meaning of the coconut. Other meaning of the coconut also is that it is sterile. It has sterile water in it. It is totally sterile, impenetrable, and whole. Similarly, Brahman is like the coconut, impenetrable, whole, and is just nothing other than you. So you offer the coconut, and then it's called Purna Phalam, and it depicts wholeness. Purna Phala. It depicts wholeness. And then what? And here he says, that's a pun. So, Purna Puja Phalam Hitat. So, know that you have received the wholeness of the puja. You have received the blessings of the puja to the fullest extent. How? Because you have gained that wholeness, which is you. That is the wholeness of the puja. You have gained that wholeness. So very nice pun over here. Uh, since we have seen much of the message of this in the background talk, we have talked about this. We can move on to the next one. What is that? आनन्द आनन्द घन गोविन्द पूजनारम्भ कर्मणि आनन्द घन गोविन्द पूजनारम्भ कर्मणि बोधे स्फुरति मोहात्मा यजमानः पलायितः बोधे स्फुरति मोहात्मा यजमानः पलायितः. So, Ananda Ghana Govinda. Govinda is that which is found through words. Literally, that's what it means. Go bhihi vindate yaha. Go means cow, go means bhumi, go also means words. And in English, go means go. Okay. As in go away. So it's not the English go, it's the Sanskritam go. Go means words. Go bhihi, the one who is found through the words of the Veda. This is the meaning of the word Govinda. Go bhihi vindate yaha. So the one that is sought out in the words of the Veda, which is Lord Krishna here, which is Bhagavan in general. So Pujana Arambha Karmani. Arambha Karmani means in the beginning of the worship called the puja of Govinda. Who is this Govinda? Ananda Ghana Govinda, who is just a mass of an endless, limitless mass of Ananda, who is the embodiment and the incarnation of Ananda, this Govinda. At the start of this puja, when I start the puja, then what happens? Bodhe, bodhe spurati, bodhe spurati. Bodhe Spurati. The Ananda Ghana is myself alone. This Bodha Spurati. So this Bodha is the understanding. The knowledge shines, Purati. When the knowledge, Bodhe Purati, when the knowledge shines. What is the knowledge? This Ananda Ghana Govinda, that I have this Ananda which I have been trying to chase. And this Ananda Ghana, the one who I have been invoking as a mass of all knowledge, consciousness, and Ananda is non-separate from me alone. Bodhe Purati. Bodhe Spurati means the knowledge itself. In the knowledge, it shines. Ananda Ghana Govinda shines in the knowledge. Okay. And then you have to be very careful to take this Purati, Bodhe Spurati, Ananda Ghana Govinda Puja Karmani Bodhe Spurati. It has to be taken together. Otherwise, if you take the second line by itself, Bodhe Spurati Mohatma, that in the in the awareness, the deluded one shines. No, the Spurati doesn't go with Mohatma. And the Bodhe Karmani, so Arambha Karmani Bodhe. So Puja Arambha Karmani Bodhe. So in when the awareness of this, who really is this Lord Krishna? Who is this shining incarnation of Ananda? Who is sitting in my own heart, who is none other than myself? Spurati. When that shines, what happens? Mohatma Yajamanah, that is in Samanadhikaranyam, those two are in apposition. Palayitah. So the one who said, I am Yajamana, I am the worshipper. Who was the worshipper? The deluded one, Mohatma. Not Mahatma, okay? That's a different thing. Mohatma. Very small difference, but you have to, but an important difference. Small grammatically, otherwise very big difference. So Mohatma Yajamanaha Palayitaha. The Palayitaha means vanished, gone, disappeared, run away. So first the puja things ran away. What is that? The bell ran away and the other things ran away. Naivedya, the little banana grew legs and ran away, and the little akshata plate ran away, and everything ran away. And then now what? The notion that I am the one who is doing worship and I am the chanter of these mantras and I never get any swara wrong and I am the best east or west. This Mohatma, this deluded one who is minted himself, herself as Yajamana. Yajamana means I am the worshipper. The status of Karta is Yajamana. So the Karta, which is the deluded one who thinks himself, herself to be the doer vanishes. The doer also runs away and goes. Where does the doer go? Well, we can say the doer goes to the same place as where the banana and the bell ended up. So that's where the doer also disappears. There is no doer in the recognition of the fact that I am Ananda Ghana. That is the idea. Small but very nice section. Then we'll be next time we'll be skipping the very next section because it has a lot of things which we have already studied, and we'll go to the section of 50 verses on the Atma, that is free of attributes. So I think we'll go to that section next time. I don't know when it is. Probably in January. I will post the dates in the website. You can look at that. ॐ पूर्णमदः पूर्णमिदं पूर्णात् पूर्णमुदच्यते पूर्णस्य पूर्णमादाय पूर्णमेवावशिष्यते ॐ शान्तिः 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 हरिः ॐ श्रीगुरुभ्यो नमः हरिः ॐ. Thank you.